So how did you make a life out of being an adventurer?
Well, after I sold my business for £1, I just had £1. I had enough money to live in London for about 3 or 4 months. I knew I wanted to go traveling, didn't really have enough money to go traveling initially. So I just thought, well, how can I get maybe someone to pay me to go traveling? How can I get sponsorship maybe for something? And that's when I thought of attempting the world record for round the world cycling. And that was literally my thought. I thought, well, if I go for some record, I'll get a sponsor and they'll fund me to do it. And then I can raise money for charity. I always raise money for African charities. So I raise money for Solar Aid, providing solar for people in Africa, for kids and schools. And yeah, I think that's kind of where it all started. I got sponsored for the Round the World cycle and went on that and succeeded in finishing the cycle. Unfortunately, I got run over in America, so I wasn't able to break the record because I suffered a fractured spine. But I carried on anyway, and then I got home after the cycle, and part of me was a little bit annoyed because I got run over and I didn't have the world record, and I knew I had it in me because before I got run over, I was actually way ahead of the world record. I was averaging 305 kilometers a day on the bicycle, and you know, really feeling positive and feeling good about myself. And so I got back, and I tried to get into a normal career again. I tried to do some photography, but really wasn't feeling it. I wanted to get into the charity sector, enjoyed that, but I wasn't really getting any interviews or anything. And that's when I thought, well, if I maybe try another adventure, I can do the same thing. And that's when I thought of my last and most recent big adventure, really, which was swimming the length of the UK. And I guess that's where it all kicked off again.
And in fact, the triathlon that you are attempting, which is you've already swum the length of Britain and you've cycled the length of Britain, but the run was also hampered slightly.
Yeah, so I was meant to be doing the run a month ago to complete the world's first ever length of Britain triathlon, but annoyingly, I took a selfie while I was running and tripped on a rock and injured my knee, which is very embarrassing, but it is true, unfortunately.
It is a great
Uh,
story, though, that whole incident of taking a selfie. It's like a warning to all selfie people out there.
I know, it's so annoying, but yeah, so I only made 300 Ks into that run, and I had to pull out, and that was quite tough because I haven't actually sort of stopped anything due to injury before, and so it's my first real serious injury.
No,
But I
even your cycle around the world, you cycled. I think you did more cycling with a fracture with your fracture than without it. How many miles did you cycle with a fracture when you were attempting the world?
So I think I only did 4,500 miles before the accident, and then I did another 12,000 with a fractured spine and whiplash and concussion and that. And there wasn't going to be any long-term injury. It was a compression fracture, so just the cartilage between my vertebrae is compressed. It was just going to be very painful, but the Americans are good at giving you painkillers, so that did help a little bit.